Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the tallest mountains and the deepest forests, there lay a kingdom shrouded in mystery, the Hidden Kingdom. Few knew of its existence, and even fewer had ever set foot inside its enchanted borders. The kingdom was said to be ruled by a wise and kind queen who possessed a magical amulet that kept her land safe from darkness. One day, a young and curious adventurer named Liam stumbled upon an ancient map in his grandfather's attic. The map showed a winding path leading to a place marked only by a golden crown. His grandfather, a traveler in his youth, whispered, "That, my boy, is the Hidden Kingdom. Many have searched for it, but none have returned." Determined to uncover the truth, Liam packed his bag with supplies and set off on his journey. His path took him through whispering forests where trees seemed to murmur secrets, across rivers that sparkled like liquid silver, and over hills where the wind carried faint, melodic laughter. After days of travel, Liam reached a massive gate covered in ivy, its iron bars twisted into intricate patterns. As he reached out to touch it, a voice echoed, "Only the pure of heart may enter." Taking a deep breath, Liam stepped forward, and the gates swung open. Inside, the Hidden Kingdom was more magnificent than he had ever imagined. Flowers glowed softly, animals spoke in gentle voices, and the air hummed with magic. Soon, he was greeted by Queen Elara herself, her amulet glowing faintly around her neck. "You have come seeking adventure," she said with a knowing smile. "But the true test lies ahead. Darkness stirs at the edges of my kingdom, and the amulet's power weakens. Will you help restore its light?" Without hesitation, Liam agreed. Guided by a playful fox named Pip, he ventured into the Cavern of Echoes, where he faced riddles from ancient spirits. He crossed the Bridge of Shadows, where his deepest fears took shape, but his courage never wavered. Finally, he reached the Heartstone, a crystal that could recharge the amulet's magic. As Liam placed the Heartstone into the amulet, a brilliant light erupted, banishing the shadows. The kingdom shimmered with renewed energy, and Queen Elara bowed gratefully. "You have proven that bravery and kindness can unlock even the greatest mysteries," she said. Before sending him home, she gifted him a small silver compass. "This will guide you to new adventures when the time is right." And so, Liam returned to his village, his heart full of wonder. Though no one believed his tales of the Hidden Kingdom, he knew the truth. Somewhere beyond the mountains, magic still thrived, waiting for the next worthy traveler to discover its secrets. Liam returned to his village, but his heart still longed for adventure. The silver compass Queen Elara had given him rested in his pocket, warm to the touch as if alive. Every night, he studied its delicate engravings, wondering when or where it would guide him next. One evening, as the last light of the sun dipped below the horizon, the compass began to glow. Its needle spun wildly before pointing toward the forgotten sea, a place whispered about in old sailors' tales. Legends spoke of an island that appeared only under the light of a blue moon, where a treasure of unimaginable power lay hidden. Determined to follow the call, Liam prepared for another journey. This time he was not alone. His childhood friend, Mira, a sharp-witted girl with a talent for deciphering ancient scripts, insisted on joining him. "If the Hidden Kingdom was real, then so is this island," she declared, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Their journey led them to a bustling port town, where they secured passage on a weathered ship called the Silver Mermaid. The captain, a grizzled old seafarer named Bran, smirked when Liam mentioned the forgotten sea. That's a fool's voyage, lad. Many have sailed there. None have returned. But when Mira showed him a fragment of an old map matching the compass's direction, his skepticism turned to intrigue. For days they sailed through calm waters, until one night the sky shifted. The moon, usually pale and silver, burned an eerie blue. The sea rippled like liquid sapphire, and before them an island materialized from the mist. The Isle of Echoes. As they stepped onto the shore, the sand shimmered like crushed pearls, and the air smelled of salt and something older, something magical. Strange statues lined their path, their stone eyes seeming to follow their every move. Then a voice neither human nor beast echoed around them. Only those who remember what was lost may claim what remains. Mira, ever the scholar, recognized the language as an ancient dialect. "It's a riddle," she whispered. "We must prove we understand the past to unlock the island's secret." Liam thought of the hidden kingdom, of Queen Elara's kindness, and the lessons he had learned. "We remember," he called out. "We remember the stories, the forgotten magic, the kingdoms and heroes lost to time." The ground trembled, and the statues parted, revealing a hidden staircase leading deep beneath the island. At its end lay a chamber bathed in blue light, and at its center stood a pedestal holding a crystal orb, the tear of the ocean, said to hold the power to control the tides themselves. But before they could approach, shadows slithered from the walls, forming into figures of long-lost sailors, their eyes hollow. "The island does not give up its secrets lightly," one hissed. Mira, quick thinking, reached into her bag and pulled out a small flute she had brought from home. She played a melody her grandmother had taught her, a song of remembrance. The shadows hesitated, then slowly faded, their restless spirits soothed by the music. With the way clear, Liam carefully lifted the tear of the ocean. As he did, the island began to tremble. It was sinking back into the sea. He and Mira sprinted back to the shore, barely making it onto the Silver Mermaid before the Isle of Echoes vanished beneath the waves. Back on the ship, Captain Bran stared at the orb in awe. "You've done what no one else could," he murmured. "But such power must be protected." Liam nodded. He knew exactly where it belonged. Back aboard the Silver Mermaid, the tear of the ocean pulsed with a soft, rhythmic glow, as if breathing in time with the waves. Captain Bran adjusted the sails, his expression unreadable. "That orb isn't just a treasure, lad," he muttered. "It's a key, and keys have locks." Before Liam could ask what he meant, Mira gasped. The compass in Liam's hand had begun spinning again. This time, its needle split into two, one pointing east, the other west. "It's never done that before," Liam said, frowning. Then, the sea itself seemed to speak. A deep, resonant voice echoed across the water, though no one stood there. "The tear's but one. Two more lie hidden. Together they wake the storm titan." A heavy silence fell over the ship. Even Captain Bran paled. "The storm titan," he whispered. "An ancient beast of wind and wrath, sealed away ages ago. If someone unites the three tiers, it'll be unleashed." Mira's fingers flew over the pages of her journal, flipping to a sketch of an old legend. The tear of the ocean controls water. There's also the tear of the sky, commanding storms, and the tear of the depths, ruling the earth. If all three are brought together... "The Titan rises," Liam finished, his stomach twisted. "We can't let that happen." The compass's twin needles gave them no choice. They had to split up. The eastern needle led Liam to a place not on any map, a cluster of shattered towers hovering in the sky, held aloft by forgotten magic. The floating ruins of Vale were said to be the remnants of an ancient civilization that had tried and failed to harness the tear of the sky. As his small skiff ascended on a magical current, Liam noticed the ruins were not entirely abandoned. Winged creatures with feathers like storm clouds watched him from the crumbling arches, the ethereals, guardians of the sky. Their leader, a majestic being with lightning crackling in its eyes, descended before him. "You seek the tear," it thundered, "but are you worthy?" To prove himself, Liam had to cross the bridge of winds, a pathway of howling gales and unstable stones. One misstep would send him plummeting to the earth below. Heart-pounding, he stepped forward. Meanwhile, the Western Needle guided Mira and Captain Bran beneath the waves. Using a rare diving charm gifted by Queen Elara, they descended into the sunken city of Nir, a place swallowed by the sea centuries ago. Here, the water was unnaturally still, the ruins preserved as if frozen in time. But as they approached a grand temple, something stirred in the darkness. The dwellers of the deep, pale, spectral figures who had once been Nir's people, emerged, their hollow eyes fixed on Mira. "The tear of the depths lies beyond the gate of reflections," one whispered. "But to pass, you must face what you fear most." A mirror-like portal swirled before her, showing not her reflection, but a vision of herself, alone, forgotten, her voice unheard. Mira's greatest fear, being insignificant. She clenched her fists. "I won't be ignored. I'll prove my worth." Steeling herself, she stepped through. Meanwhile, the Western Needle guided Mira and Captain Bran beneath the waves. Using a rare diving charm gifted by Queen Elara, they descended into the sunken city of Nir, a place swallowed by the sea centuries ago. Here, the water was unnaturally still, the ruins preserved as if frozen in time. But as they approached a grand temple, something stirred in the darkness. The dwellers of the deep, pale, spectral figures who had once been Nir's people, emerged, their hollow eyes fixed on Mira. "The tear of the depths lies beyond the gate of reflections," one whispered. "But to pass, you must face what you fear most." A mirror-like portal swirled before her, showing not her reflection, but a vision of herself, alone, forgotten, her voice unheard. Mira's greatest fear, being insignificant. She clenched her fists. "I won't be ignored. I'll prove my worth." Steeling herself, she stepped through. As Liam grasped the tear of the sky and Mira claimed the tear of the depths, a monstrous tremor shook the world. Dark clouds gathered in the horizon, swirling into a colossal face. The storm titan was waking, and worse, someone else was searching for the tears. A shadowy figure draped in a cloak of mist watched from afar. The moment the storm titan's rumbling laughter shook the skies, Liam and Mira knew they were out of time. Liam, still clutching the tear of the sky and the floating ruins of Vale, watched in horror as the clouds twisted into a monstrous face. The ethereals shrieked in warning, their feathers standing on end. "He comes," their leader cried. "The veiled sorcerer seeks the tears." Meanwhile, deep below the waves, Mira felt the ocean tremble. The dwellers of the deep scattered like startled fish, whispering one name in terror: Malakar. Liam and Mira raced to reunite, guided by their compasses, now glowing red with urgency. They met on a desolate stretch of shore, where the waves clawed at the sand like desperate hands. "Who is Malakar?" Liam panted, his clothes still damp from his descent from the ruins. Mira's face was grim. Not who. What? She unrolled an ancient scroll she'd taken from Nair. It showed a mural of a man consumed by shadow, his hands outstretched toward three glowing orbs. He was once Queen Elara's brother, a prince who tried to seize the Storm Titan's power for himself. She banished him, but now he's returning. A cold wind howled, then a voice, smooth as poisoned honey. "Ah, the children who stole my keys." They whirled. A figure emerged from the mist, his cloak billowing like living smoke. Malakar. His face was hidden, but his presence made the air hum with dread. "Give me the tears," he said, "or watch as this world drowns in wind and wave." Liam's hand tightened around the tear of the sky. Mira gripped the tear of the depths. They had one advantage. Malakar didn't know they already had the tear of the ocean safely hidden aboard the Silver Mermaid. "You'll destroy everything," Mira shouted. Malakar laughed. "Number I'll rule everything." He raised his hands, and the sea behind him rose in a towering wall of water, ready to crash down. Liam acted on instinct. He hurled the tear of the sky into the air, not toward Malakar, but toward Mira. "Catch!" She understood at once. As Malakar lunged for the tear, Mira smashed it against the tear of the depths. A deafening crack split the world. Light erupted, and for a heartbeat, time itself seemed to freeze. The hidden kingdom's secret. When the light faded, Malakar was gone. But so were the tears. In their place stood Queen Elara, her amulet blazing. "You did well," she said softly. "The tears were never meant to be used. They are prison bars, holding the Titan and my brother in slumber." Liam staggered. "Then, we just set him free?" "No," Elara said. "You forced him into the open. Now he can be stopped for good." She extended her hands. "But I cannot do it alone. Will you stand with me?" Mira didn't hesitate. "Tell us what to do." The queen smiled. "We go to the heart of the storm." The winds howled like a chorus of the damned as Queen Elara led Liam and Mira through the tempest gate, a swirling vortex of clouds and lightning that marked the entrance to the Storm Titan's prison. The air smelled of ozone and ancient magic, crackling with every step. "The Titan is not just a beast," Elara shouted over the gale. "It is a force of chaos, and my brother has bound his soul to it. To stop him, we must separate them before the final seal breaks." Mira clutched her journal close. "And how do we do that?" The queen's eyes darkened. "Someone must enter the storm's eye and sever the tether between them. But the price is great." Liam's stomach twisted. What price? Before she could answer, the ground beneath them trembled. The clouds parted, and there, wreathed in storm and shadow, stood Malakar, his form now fused with the Titan's essence. His voice boomed like thunder. "Sister, you are too late." Malakar raised his hands, and the storm obeyed. Lightning lashed at them like whips. Liam barely dodged, rolling across the unstable sky bridge they stood on. Mira, quicker, pulled out the silver flute from her pack, the same one that had calmed the spirits in the Isle of Echoes. She played a single piercing note. The winds stuttered. Malakar snarled, "Clever, but music won't save you." He lunged, but Queen Elara intercepted him, her amulet flaring. The siblings clashed, light against shadow, their struggle shaking the very sky. "Go!" Elara cried. "The storm's eye is above us. Liam, only you can do this." Liam didn't understand, but he ran. The path ahead spiraled upward, the wind tearing at his clothes. Behind him, he heard Mira's flute rise in defiance, holding Malakar's attention just a second longer. At the peak, The storm's heart pulsed like a living thing, a maelstrom of raw power, with a single thread of darkness at its core, the bond between Malakar and the Titan. Liam reached for it, but a voice echoed in his mind. To sever this, you must lose something you love. His breath caught. What did that mean? Then he knew, the silver compass, the gift from Queen Elara, his first true treasure, the key to every adventure he'd ever wanted. Gritting his teeth, he hurled it into the storm. The reaction was instant. The thread snapped. A scream tore through the air, Malakar's, as his form began dissolving into smoke. The Titan roared, its body collapsing inward like a dying star. Queen Elara, her strength spent, fell to her knees. "It's over," she whispered. But the storm didn't vanish. Without a prison, without a master, it raged uncontrolled. Mira grabbed Liam's arm. "We have to contain it, or it'll destroy everything." Elara lifted her head. "There is one way." She pressed her amulet into Liam's hands. The Hidden Kingdom was never just a place. It was a sacrifice, a piece of the world sealed away to balance the storm. Now it must return. The meaning crashed over him. "You're giving up your kingdom?" "No," she said softly. "I'm giving it back." With the last of her strength, she spoke a single word. The amulet shattered. A pulse of light exploded outward. The storm stilled. The clouds parted. And where the Hidden Kingdom once stood, now lay a new land. Brighter, vaster, reunited with the world it had been torn from. Malakar was gone. The Titan slept. And Liam and Mira stood at the edge of a new dawn. The dawn after the storm was the most beautiful Liam had ever seen. Golden light spilled over the new land. Once the Hidden Kingdom, now vibrant and unshrouded, its borders stretching farther than the eye could see. The forests were greener, the rivers clearer, and the air hummed with a magic that no longer needed to hide. Queen Elara, though weakened, stood tall as the people of the kingdom and the world beyond, gazed in wonder at what had been restored. Villagers from Liam's homeland, sailors from distant ports, and even the ethereals from the sky ruins gathered at the edges of this reborn realm. "The balance is restored," Elara announced, her voice carrying on the wind. "But with it comes a new responsibility. This land is no longer just mine. It is yours, to protect, to cherish." Liam and Mira stood beside her, their lives forever changed. The silver compass was gone, but in its place Queen Elara bestowed upon them two new gifts. For Liam, a cloak woven from storm cloud and starlight that would let him walk any path, no matter how treacherous. For Mira, a book with pages that never ended, where every mystery she wrote down would reveal its truth in time. "You are both keepers of this world now," Elara said. "Adventure will always call you, but so will duty." Mira grinned. "Good. I wouldn't have it any other way." As the days passed, the kingdom thrived. The tears of the ocean, sky, and depths were gone, but their magic lingered. In the gentle rains, the steady earth, and the winds that carried seeds to new lands. Yet one evening, as Liam walked the shores of the forgotten sea, the waves lapped at his boots, and for a moment, he thought he heard a whisper. "Not all storms are gone, little guardian." When he turned, there was nothing. Only the endless sea and the horizon where the next adventure waited. And so the tale of the Hidden Kingdom became legend. But for Liam and Mira, it was just the first page. Somewhere, a new mystery stirred. Somewhere, a door waited to be opened. But that is a story for another time.